Hello, welcome to Cataclysm Quick Tip number 60, where we're going to discuss the healing rates that have been adjusted in the game recently. So in the past, with the way the healing worked, you were able to go forth into the Cataclysm, chop up 100 zombies with your trusty battle axe, stagger back to your base, severely wounded, take a nap or go to sleep, and then 8 hours, wake up fully healed again, with no injuries whatsoever. That's no longer the case. The healing rate has been lowered or nerfed pretty significantly, and now in the game, in order to stay alive, you're going to have to be much more attentive to your healing. What I mean by that is, it's much more important now to actually put some focus on the first aid skill to raise the effectiveness of your healing efforts with the medical supplies you have, and to actually apply those medical supplies quickly and often when necessary. So what I've done is I've set up a situation that we're going to run through 4 times very quickly, just 4 quick examples of various rates at which you heal based on just what you do to try to keep yourself going. So in the first example, we've got our test subject here. He is a brand new base character, just completely default. We've got 8 for all stats, no skills whatsoever. The only thing I've done is give him the self-aware trait so we can see exactly what hit points he has, and I've also given him enough fatigue that he will sleep immediately when we request that he do so. So in this first example, I'm just going to sleep with him in this exact condition. We're not going to apply any kind of bandaging, disinfecting, no medical supplies or medical attention whatsoever, and we're going to see how much healing he receives. In the second example, I will apply bandaging and then sleep. In the third example, we will bandage and disinfect, then go to sleep. And in the final example, we will raise our first aid skill to 3, just the level 3, nothing too outrageous. Then we'll apply bandaging, disinfect, and sleep. And we're going to look at the numbers for each time and see just how much of a difference each of these examples makes in our healing efforts. So let's go ahead and get to sleep for this first example. We'll close the window to get it dark. Hop into bed with our blanket and pillow and give the sleep command. And we're just going to watch that number. So we started at 1 hit point. We'll sleep roughly 8 hours through a lightning storm, apparently. All right, there we go. 6 p.m. So we actually slept for 10 hours. So we were pretty tired. And you can see we have gained 5 total hit points. So our left arm went from 1 to 5. That is significantly slower than what people are used to in the older builds, or even the stable releases. So in the past, you could go from 1 to, I can't remember exactly how many you would get back then, but it would be pretty close to full with a full night's sleep. So we're going to go ahead and reset the example here. I'll go ahead and do a brief pause and reload of this situation, and we'll try the next one. So hold on 1 second. Okay, we're all set for example number 2. In this example, we're just going to apply a single bandage to the left arm, and then we're going to repeat our sleep process, and we'll see how much healing we receive. So we'll go ahead and close the windows again, and I do have a first aid kit in inventory. Very important to unpack these and take a look. A lot of good medical items in here. We're just going to grab the bandages for now. We're going to apply a bandage and select our damaged left arm. You can see here expected bandage quality is poor. It's important to know. This is a function of both the type of bandage we're using as well as our first aid skill. So we'll go ahead and apply that. And if we check our character screen, you can see the bandaged poor left arm indicator right there. Now we're going to repeat the same process as before. We're just going to go to sleep, and we're going to watch that left arm hit point value and see if we get an improvement over the 6 hit points we ended up with last time. So we'll say yes, go to sleep. Get our lightning storm again. Okay, so we have increased from 6 to 14 just by applying 1 single bandage to the arm. No other changes, no skill of any kind, no disinfectant, and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the test again. We'll do test number 3, where we'll apply a bandage and disinfectant. Okay, we've got everything reset for test number 3. We're just going to repeat the same steps, but this time we're going to add disinfectant to our care. We'll open up our first aid kit. We will grab the bandages and the bottle of disinfectant. We'll apply bandage to our arm, apply disinfectant to our arm. And you'll notice you have 2 different indicators. It tells you poor disinfected and poor bandaged for the left arm. Let's go ahead and repeat our sleep test, and we'll check our new number. Okay, and there we go. So we've increased from 14 to 21. So we've gone from 6 with no care to 14 with just a bandage to 21 with a bandage and disinfectant. Let's go ahead and do our last setup. Be 1 second while I reset everything, and we'll get the 4th test done. Okay, we are all set for test number 4. Let's go ahead and follow the same steps as before. Before we do the first aid kit though, this final test we're actually going to change the player slightly. We're going to edit the player, and we're going to edit his skills. We're going to go first aid, and we're going to give him level 3 first aid. This is a fairly low level, and it's achievable through the Big Book of First Aid, which is fairly common in the game world. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we take a look here, we can see we now have first aid level 3. Then we're going to go ahead and unpack our first aid kit, grab up our bandages and disinfectant, apply the bandage, and you can see now we have a bandage quality of good instead of poor. Then we'll go ahead and apply our disinfectant to the same arm, and we have good for the disinfected and bandage qualities. That's a function of the first aid trait. The higher you raise your first aid, the better the effect that you're going to get, or effectiveness, out of your healing items. And then we're going to go ahead and repeat our sleep test. Okay, so take a look at that number, 49. We have gone from 6 with absolutely no first aid or medical assistance of any kind to 49 with just the application of a bandage, disinfectant, and having first aid 3 before applying those items. Hopefully this is eye-opening to a number of folks. There seems to be quite a bit of, let's call it hysteria and bad information being passed along on the Discord and Reddits and forums and so on. A lot of people like to throw around 3 weeks to heal from 1 hit point type numbers, and with a little bit of knowledge and understanding of the systems and processes, you can see how kind of silly that is. All you really need to do is start focusing on your first aid skill a bit more than you have in the past, and making that a priority. Get those bandages and first aid items on your body, the bandages and disinfectant preferably. There are other options, of course, different variations of makeshift bandages, boiled bandages, and so on. So experiment. But the most important point I wanted to put across is that basically just treat your wounds, and you'll be able to be much, much more effective at getting yourself back up and running than you might think. So do take advantage of this, and also realize you do heal during the day. It's not only during the night that you actually heal. So as soon as you take some severe wounds, make sure to slap some bandages and disinfectant, if you have those supplies available, onto the wounds. You will heal during the daytime. It is slower than the sleep time healing, but you will make progress while you're going about doing your other business. So don't just wait until right before you go to sleep to actually apply the medical items. It is important, especially if it's going to be a long period of time before you sleep, that you go ahead and apply those right away. Try to keep them from getting hit by enemies, because they can get broken or damaged and knocked off, and you lose the effectiveness there. But beyond that, just be very careful to treat your wounds effectively, bandage, disinfect, and try to raise your first aid skill as quick as possible. And as you can see, we went from 6 health with no care whatsoever to 49 health. That is a massive difference in the healing rates, just by putting a tiny bit of focus on raising first aid and applying the appropriate care. Hopefully you found this information helpful, and it assists you in surviving the Cataclysm. If you have any requests for future episodes, let me know in the comments down below and or via my Discord channel, and I'll be happy to address those. And have a great day. Stay safe out there.